guys.
Hi.
I'm hoping I did everything correctly. I think it's usually pretty straightforward. Hi, Rifkin.
Okay, bye.
That was Olivia from Olimoleague. No.
Okay, we'll do it after. You can go after the finals.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're actually starting the finals. So sorry, that was a lot faster than we expected. Already underway for this grand finish to the year,
shit.
ladies and gentlemen, in the middle of the map.
Oh.
Not with one, not with two, but gonna be a couple of Reapers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Red Terran player ByuN.
And the way that SCV is going is to the bottom right. Kind of.
Well,
To the right side.
okay, it's not
And
going,
there's
but-
also a bottom to the right side. There in the bottom right, it is the blue Zerg soO.
Okay, so ByuN's full of proxies. He's full of doing all this sort of stuff. This isn't anything new for him. I think soO should be prepared for it, hopefully, ideally, but he still could get caught off guard.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is maybe just Marines. Like, so when he said Reapers, I was like, you know what? That's a
you know
pretty high
what?
chance because, you
Yeah.
know, ByuN likes Reapers. But also, it would be very shocking of ByuN to just be like, no, Marines.
Well, we've seen these weird Marine builds actually start coming out. We always talk about, like, okay, it used to be you wanted 5, not 3, not 2, but 2 barracks, couple Marines. I guess you throw a bunker down. It's somewhat, quote-unquote, cost-effective. We'll see if it works. It's certainly going to be unexpected. soO, this is the BlizzCon champion, you know. ByuN's going to have everybody gunning for him, everybody watching the way he plays. soO has to have some idea.
No. Oh my God, I thought it was a scout. So many. Oh, he saw the SCV, I think. That's why he didn't build it.
Okay, I think that was
Oh
the
my
nice
gosh.
turn to go check. So now he puts the bunkers down in the natural. He still might get these up. soO would have to pull workers right now if he wanted to stop this. The Lings aren't going to finish in time. There's 2 out already. Maybe the other SCV, but the Marine should be able to protect this.
I mean, what soO does is one of the safest greedy builds you can do, which I know sounds very counterintuitive, but you know, he has at least the capability of building queens and lings, where if, of course, you go for a 3-hatchet for pool, you're still waiting for the pool to finish. It might have only finished, you know, a couple seconds ago. So the lings might not be enough, but actually they might just be.
Well, the Marines
They really
actually
are
duck into a corner. This is kind of cool. I like the micro out of ByuN. He's
Oh
going to
my
run
God.
for the
Oh
bunker,
my
but he's
God.
not going to make it.
Oh.
One gets inside. That's all he needs.
Well, his reinforcements will be able to get in, so I don't know about that. Like, he's building roaches, and like that should be enough. Like, the thing is, it's so hard to have the 2 racks work. Okay, no matter what, either the drones come down and kill you, or they have lings, or they get a spine crawler. The point is, if they scout it, there are so many options for them to defend. Now, especially Legacy of the Void, you have that increased count for drones if it does get desperate. So this probably, it shouldn't kill the hatchery, but maybe it'll stop, you know, of course, soO from building drones, and it really is right now. But can ByuN hold if soO potentially counterattacks? That's my question right now.
I mean, it's looking like no, because he
reverse
put so
that?
much on the other side of the map, right? Yeah, first attack, counterattack, whatever you want to call it. Bunker goes down. The Marines are trading out with the Roaches, so maybe hold that thought, Zombie, because he could, let's not forget, build depots in the middle. He could buy some time. He actually did a lot of damage to soO's standing army, but that being said, he still doesn't have anything up at home.
Yeah.
No factory, no nothing.
This was such a weird.
He's
It's not like
building
it
a
was
bunker. He's
risky.
expecting to get Marines inside the bunker. This is insane.
He's gonna get in 1 bunker. That's the good news. At least speed isn't on the way to being finished. If the speed was done, he traps the Marines, he gets the SCVs, command centers be canceled. It's game over anyways. At least right now, if he can lift the command center and stay in his main base, you can continue trying to play this game out. But of course, behind this, soO, all droning. He has nothing to worry about. He knows where the production facilities are after all, and that they're gonna be lifted soon.
Oh, that SCV actually
Whoa.
finishes and gets inside the command center. He
Oh my
saves
God.
it. This is insane. Now, those Marines can't get up to the high ground, and he just salvaged that bunker, so a little unfortunate over there. He still doesn't have anything else. He has to pull these. There's nothing to stop him from chipping away at the ramp otherwise.
The thing is, he either pulls them now or he pulls them to repair. Like,
Well, if you pull and repair, though, you can't actually attack. I think his idea was he was going to surround the low health one and get
Yeah,
rid
I
of one of the
think
roaches,
so.
but unfortunately not going to be the case here. He's going to make Ravagers. He's going to chip away at this. ByuN, on the other hand, his factory's still not done. He's sending Marines across the other side of the map. I don't know what he's expecting to get done. Marines are good when there's a lot of them. Marines are not good when there's only a couple of them.
it's almost laughably bad how ByuN's opener has gone. But he's still going to try and continue doing work here. I mean, if you get to a factory, maybe you get a tank out. No, not even. Just kidding.
soO's going to take that first game.
Questionable.
Look at him licking his lips. Oh, the Terran champion tastes so good.
You know what? ByuN he just doesn't want it to, you know, be a 3-0. It's fine.
You know, ByuN has actually had a history of being what we've called an entertainer, right? He will lose game number 1 and then bounce back to win even harder off of it. And I think he does it to be the showman that he is. He's the one Korean with personality. Look at the smile on his face after losing that game. He's like, I know I did a cheeky, stupid build. And I know it didn't work because it wasn't supposed to work.
I think he really did see that last game and was like, you know what? If soO does this, I'm going to catch him off guard. Because even though soO does, again, like that kind of like the safe greedy, what I was talking about, it still is like, that's a pretty quick third base. So if it goes down at 300 minerals, you have to cancel it or you have to try and defend it. Either one's pretty bad. Like, it can actually do work against what specifically soO was doing. Against like a, you know, just a natural hatchery Zerg, I feel like a T-Rex should never work.
I really wish I could take this camera and show it that way, guys. You've got both ByuN and Gumiho just kind of chilling over there on the side with Olivia and Crank. I think they're probably just talking about the finals. And I'm sorry we had to cut it short. I was hoping to get Olivia on. I didn't realize we'd be going through so quick, but I just checked the time and understand why now, because we are really crunching it for our time limit. The stage has so many different things to go through today. We only did have about 3-ish hours of time for the stage, so kind of makes sense that we had to push that finals out quick. I do hope they'll give us a few minutes, though, to get Olivia on to talk after, though. Creator of the Olimoleague, you guys get some inside knowledge. I mean, again, she doesn't get to come on stream too often.
Maybe that's why ByuN is also doing some quick builds.
Yeah, good guy, ByuN.
Good guy, ByuN.
No, I think ByuN does not care about the stage, and I don't think the stage would care so much about the players holding it up, because the game's going on.
Yeah.
But
that was just super cheeky.
I don't know what those things are on his nose, but they make him look kind of badass.
Yeah, like the anime thing, except it's a reverse Band-Aid, right? Because Band-Aid usually has like the pad in the middle instead of pad to the side.
Right.
I don't know. Usually they wear, like, believe it or not, they don't have perfect complexion. They're wearing something to cover up like acne, like a pimple or something. But I don't know what that is.
Well, you know you're going to be on the camera in front of a big arena. It makes a lot of sense. But ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into game number 2 in the best of 5 grand finals. Top left side of the map, we got ByuN!
And in the bottom right of this depot,
the SCV that's building it, his name is Billy.
Billy the SCV is also Billy the Marine.
Billy Walter Joseph is his full name, actually.
So his mom calls him when he's, she's angry at him.
Well, you know when you've got a lot of siblings and your mom goes through all their names and then finally gets serious, you're like, hey, Andrew, no, John, no, Jessica.
Bad. In the bottom right, he is soO. No, I feel so bad for my mom because, like, all of our names start with J. Like, it was really rude of us to do that to her. Jim, John, Jim, Joanne? No, that's my name. Jessica.
Well, in fairness, that's her fault for naming you guys like that.
I really feel like talking to my mom, it was just like, she didn't mean to. My dad convinced her. So, you know, we're both J's, so like let's just like keep on doing it. And my brother really wants to do it too because he married a Jessica. Too many J's in this family. But anyway, the map, of course, King Sejong Station was ByuN's map choice. Again, I'm assuming is the way that has been done in the past.
Yeah, and this reminds me, I totally forgot. We have a giveaway still going, by the way. We did it to celebrate going to Korea. Hey, we're in Korea. We did it to celebrate 10,000 views or subscribers on YouTube. We still have that. So, guys, the bot's not working because we are in Korea, and unfortunately we don't. But if someone could get the giveaway link in chat, I would really appreciate it because I think there's 2 days left to enter, 2 days left to get a chance to win some really sweet stuff. You can pick anything off the list. It's basically something from most of our sponsors. You pick any 2 things you want if you win. It's a pretty sweet deal. All you got to do is click a couple of links to enter.
Yeah, very cool. So, King Sejong Station, this is where, like, Gumiho versus soO is an entirely different beast, and you don't really get to talk about what is usual on the maps because it doesn't matter. Gumiho's going to be going mech. But for ByuN, he is the standard. He is what makes it so usual and what you can talk about because he's kind of perfected a lot of the Terran builds. So, of course, he still favors the 2-1-1 so much. So much. Even if everyone else in the world says, like, no, that's been figured out, he'll still do it, and he'll still win with it. But he has a couple other builds up his sleeve. He doesn't always depend on the 2-1-1. I do think it's his strongest build. It's not his only build. And we're actually seeing that here. He's getting a factory, which might give soO a little bit of like a, flashbacks to Gumiho, but it shouldn't be the same thing.
All right, so let me ask you something here, Zombigo. We can't get player cams due to technical restrictions. You want to do caster cams? I feel like the one time ever.
I want to stand eventually.
Yeah, it'll be more hype when you stand. Okay, if you don't want to, I won't do it. Maybe Chat can convince you.
Also, I'm not sure that, I don't know what production would want.
Oh, that's really easy.
No, the big boss.
Oh, the big boss.
Big boss.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Boo.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as ByuN kind of saunters down the middle of the map with this Reaper, I will say the Reaper, this not proxy, but this one regular Reaper is the one thing we criticize the most out of ByuN.
It is.
Because as much as I love this guy, and as much as he's just fantastic at this game, BlizzCon champion for goodness sake, he always seems to mess up with his first Reaper.
It's funny.
I tried to make jokes in broken English with Ryung about it, but he also seemed to know about it. So did Gumiho. Like, I guess it's a common thing.
Yeah. All right, so ByuN tries to catch soO off guard. You know, only 2 Hellions in a Reaper. That's usually not the time they try and soO have the Hellions in. So soO was completely surprised. I guess he was also trying to be a little bit greedy, not going for any speed whatsoever. A couple of drones are going to go down here. You know, there are going to be Hellions following this up to and Banshees, so maybe some of like the really low drones might still be in that one-shot range.
So this
6 is pretty good.
I will say this was a lot of panic too, though. soO actually lost a lot of money from that.
I love the dynamic of Hellions. Like literally 2 Lings, if they touch the Hellion, the Hellion's like, no, I can't do
Don't
it anymore.
touch me!
Exactly. But 9 workers now. Some of them are still so low. 11 workers with this one Hellion being such a boss.
If you get that one more shot, it could have been 12
God.
easily, but I do want to point out, like, again, each time he pulled those drones, that's drones lost, that sucks. That's another 600 something minerals he's not mining while that goes on. soO certainly feeling the burn from that attack, and I mean that in the literal and the pun sense.
Yeah. The Banshee is going to be able to follow up, too. Like, the Queens didn't take so much damage, but there's still some drones that are one-shots. So, like, bing, bang, boom, and get out of there before they can recover.
Hey, there's Olimoleague! That is the creator of the Olimoleague, guys. You've probably seen her face before.
It's a good thing we told her she's going to be on camera. She just patted her nose before that happened.
Oh, nice. Well, as you know, she's hacked all the accounts on Twitch anyway, so it wouldn't matter.
She hacked the production. That's why she's on
She
there.
hacked production. She is the Korean Sombra.
Oh, my God.
So I'm really like, no, never mind.
Nope, no, you tried. So, no.
Solimoli, bro.
God, there's no combining those two.
No, it's close though.
The Banshee gets 7 more workers, denies the gas mining for a little bit, still alive as well. And of course, behind this, ByuN is going for 30C, double engineering bay. I mean, the more common thing he could have done, 2-1-1, it's a tank push, probably could have done damage with that too. But this has been an excellent opener.
Well, the Cloak Banshee is going to make it more excellent. There's still a little bit of wiggle room here. Even with that Queen there, I think about 2 to 3 drones should easily be picked off without losing the Banshee. All right, there we go. Focus firing them down. ByuN, by the way, again, I really want to stress this for anyone who might only just be watching the finals pods. Talked to him earlier. He really wanted the TvZ finals. He really did not want the TvT finals. And I asked him, like, is it because Zerg's easy? You know, you beat Dark in the finals, BlizzCon, that sort of thing. And he's oh, sorry. He's just like, I thought that was my armrest. He's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. He just hates TvT. So really, really a fan of this matchup.
Yeah. Well, we do have soO now able to, I talked about Gumiho and how weird he was. Well, soO had to respond to that, so he was playing kind of like, quote unquote, like weird, like Roach Hydra, who does it anymore. He will play against Meg, of course. But versus Terran, of course, we might see Roach Ravager styles, sure, it might be a possibility. More likely, though, for soO and like Korean Zergs in general, it's going to be Ling Banling. And that is what we're seeing here. So this is really kind of like the pinnacle, the epitome of TvZ as we know it, Korean TvZ as we know it, is going to be the Bio player versus the Ling Bane, maybe Mutalisk player. Some people like to do that, some people don't. It is Aspire. There you go.
It was really cool watching soO play against Mech, though. I mean, going to the Game 5, having the Game 4 be as tight as it was, there was a lot of awesome parts of him playing against, you know, Gumiho before. What I am loving and hoping to see, though, can he keep this up versus ByuN? Okay, you're up a game because ByuN did a stupid build, whatever. You're really getting tested now. Like, this is the mid game. This is the best Terran versus Zerg player currently in the world, as proven by BlizzCon. Like, can you compete with that?
Yeah. That's a really good question. soO does have enough Lings. I was a little bit worried. I was like, where are they? He does have enough Lings to push this back. Even without all the Queens there, it's still something that ByuN is going to deal with. I
was going to say, though, ByuN didn't really take any damage to the Medivacs or the Marines, and he's a guy who's... It's not about the one drop. It's about the 4th time that one drop comes in.
Yeah. I mean, ByuN had a very good opener, and this is like not a game where soO's running away. It should be a game where ByuN starts to run away with his production now fully amped up as he gets to the perfect SCV count and gets more barracks. But it's still something like soO has got to be worried about. He's holding on now, but yeah, the additional attacks going forward. ByuN had a good opener. He's going to have a good mid game. He's going to have a pretty excellent late game, too. That's like one of the things, another thing that Terrans had trouble with that ByuN just doesn't seem to really showcase his trouble against the late game Zerg. The cancels on the Banelings, that's something that he needed. soO had split his Ling to deal with 2 different locations and thought that a perfect amount of Banelings
focus fire on the Baneling
would have been able to do it, and that just wasn't the case. If the Banelings aren't here, then Lings
look
can't
at this
deal with it
position!
enough.
He's unloading it! Dude, he's behind the extractor. So gross, so dirty, so Terran.
Yeah. This is pretty okay.
I like that he's saying screw it. I also like that soO did not waste the banelings on this single Hellbat. That was really sick.
This is already so much damage done though. soO can't get that good like clump of units on each side that just instantly forces the pickup. He's having some difficult time going back and forth. Unfortunately, it's just the wrong medevac to do that. But this is all.
Oh, look at him baited them off creep just so he can do this specifically.
This is at best topical damage. You know, it's not too important. soO's still in 4 bases drones, but it is something that is going to keep ByuN alerted to like what's going on. Where is soO's army? What does it look like? What is his drone count? Does he get mutas? Does he get corruptors? He's going to see the mutas for the first time here. That means he can't pick up as much anymore. But there's really not that many mutalists.
Yeah, he'll get away with this first, but I really, oh, the reinforcements are here to save the day. On that topic of corruptors, I actually really like corruptors, but we'll talk more on that later. Right now, we got the Lings desperately trying to get in. soO's army supply barely hanging above 50. He doesn't have enough banelings to overwhelm this. He doesn't have enough Zerglings to run in. The Mutalisks, they can't even get to the Widow Mines.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that soO was banking so many minerals and gas because his queens have been busy chasing a Hellions and just generally missed micro from dealing with so many drops here and there. Of course, the 4th base, I don't think I ever had a queen on it, which would have been pretty important.
Oh, those Widow Mines almost got the sickest hits.
And they almost scumbag medevacs too.
Yeah, Widow Mines in a nutshell.
But no, that is going to force ByuN back, and soO can take a minute to breathe. He didn't lose a hatchery, he didn't lose drones, he should be okay, but he does need to use that mineral bank, and he can't right now. So I would say that queens, there's really not there's no good reason not to make queens, it feels, for Zerg, alright? Like, until you're up to like 10, then maybe you think you should stop. But I think he's still only on 4. Maybe only 3. Oh, no, he has a few running 3.
I do want to bring attention to the upgrades as well. soO may be on his way to 2-2, but ByuN just finished them, so he is good to go. And it's not something so commonly seen. Usually Zerg just like rockets ahead with those upgrades.
Yeah, they're definitely supposed to, but this has been a tough game for soO from the beginning, from the first Hellion attacks. In fact, considering how much damage he took from that, it must have been like 16 drones in the early game. It's impressive that he's still hanging on this much.
It's so bold to chase after the mutas like that. On one hand, like, you want to pick them off if you can. On the other, there might be banelings waiting for you.
Yeah, exactly. Now, soO, if he's given more time, as like ByuN really didn't have like immediate follow-up pressure, he might be able to get the mutas across the map. ByuN doesn't have that many liberators. There's usually a really good defense from Terran and Legacy of the Void against this mutalist, but there's always a chance that there's not, like, only one missile turret, and mutas can snowball. As they didn't hard
actually,
to swarm.
Scarlet was showing us that more recently with like heavily armored upgrade mutas. I was like, what is this? And it's kind of working.
Yeah, soO not going that direction. You get the +1, which is like the default. If you go mutas, you go +1. That's like, it's usually a guarantee.
You want the extra ricochet bit of damage. You hit the medevac that one last time. The Widow Mines are actually not going to go off on much. The Liberators are getting some nice splash damage in. The Baneling's going to be baited at the front lines. Marauders are ignored as they push right on through, but now they're off a creep. ByuN's control is too sick, too furious. The mutas are actually going to be not a problem, but the Baneling still will be. He's pushed back to his 4th.
Yeah, I was going to say, soO had some really good Baneling hits right there. I was surprised that ByuN took that damage.
I was surprised those extra Lings came in. They're like the cavalry riding on in.
So many Banelings. soO is going to push him back beyond the 4th base,
I think he's fine, though, because look at this. He's going to start spreading out. It's going to be like very low trades, and that's where the focus fire comes in. Out of ByuN. He might have no medevacs, but he's got enough to push back the mutas.
ByuN is now down in supply and down medevacs. In fact, I've been noticing for the last minute or two that he has not been reducing them consistently, and he's been losing them to the mutalists.
Yeah, and I think a lot of emphasis has been going to the Widow Mines in lieu of that, which maybe would have been good, maybe would have been bad, but now he doesn't have a lot of either. This drop below was doing some very nice damage, and it's going to die, but it trades out cost effectively before doing so. So now where does ByuN really sit in this game? Like, he's still winning on the resources lost, but his current units on the map are not that great.
The momentum shift is extreme, and it was all because of that last fight. He was the one that felt like he could continue being aggressive. He could actually be a little risky by going forward on a creep a little bit, rallying forward units, and they realized that he couldn't. And now it's a little bit too late. Now he has to decide between Liberators and medevacs. These can actually be killed. It's only when you have like 6 Liberators that they can no longer magic box on you.
Yeah, and he was hoping to really just have them stack up so you get a couple more shots in, but it's not going to cut it. Widow Mine's going to try and burrow. Mutas now know where that is, so they'll avoid that spot like crazy.
Yeah, this is really excellent for soO. Like, the ability to get the mutas across the map is where that mutaling bling really starts to go back to what you saw in Heart of the Swarm. It's like, until then, Liberators are too good. Until then, your larva isn't there. Until then, you don't have enough gas. But once you get to this point, and you're controlling the map, spreading more creep, mutilating bling is legitimately scary. It's probably even scarier than Ultras.
That was like the sexiest Tetris of a reactor I've seen in a long time.
This is also, I want to point out, like, this is where ByuN would only, like, I feel, only have his mistakes. Like, his games he would lose against Zerg would actually be against the Zergs that got to Mutiling Bling and were, like, at an okay position. Then he would start to get swamped. So it's a little scary. Like, soO, he's already up one game because ByuN tried something a little bit cheeky. He took a lot into the early game and he thought maybe, okay, that was just one game. This second game might be his as well.
But that would, once again, be very much like ByuN. You lose a couple of games to come back even harder for the grand finals.
Yeah, that's true. soO has such control over this game, but ByuN still has a very good army, and he does have 3-3. And he also has Liberators that can kill mutas like super quickly. So at no point can soO feel comfortable. Heart of the Swarm, 4 Widow Mines could have been burrowed. That's always a little bit scary. Legacy of the Void, 2 Liberators suddenly come out of nowhere. Boom, you're dead. And you do depend a lot on the Mutalisk. It's not that Mutiling Bling is the end-all be-all. It is still a scary composition when it's maxed out.
Oh, that was... I heard the Korean casters trying to hype that up, but I was like, no way was that going to work.
Yeah, right? But soO is going to have to think about going to Ultras, I think, after this fight if it goes well.
So many Banelings rolling on in, though, and the Marines might die, but so do the Mutas. No, wait, the Mutas take out the Liberators! Forget what I said, soO is in a fantastic spot!
Yeah, he's just going for mass Banelings, and the Widow Mines didn't get any great shots, you know? Like, they were all getting the one lings ahead.
They're always a gamble.
Yeah, and there's just not that many of them. You know, he didn't invest in Drilling Claws, he didn't invest into a second factory. He was really depending a lot on his bio, and there honestly wasn't even that many Marauders to soak up so many Banelings. This is a problem. I don't like, it's not that ByuN's going for a bad composition, but that there probably could be a bit better like of choices here. He was split, he was burrowed, he knew the attack was incoming, and he still got rolled by Banelings.
Well, this game has certainly gone directions I didn't expect. We're looking at the upgrades tab right now for reasons. There we go. I like the Infestation Pit out of soO. It's a good way to capitalize on being ahead, even if it's not for Hive, even if it was for something simple like Infestors. Those would pair up really well with the Banelings, but I think the problem is at this point, if you're going to keep making Banelings and Mutalisks, you don't have the gas for Infestors. Yeah.
Well, this is what I expected. If soO was going to take a good fight, like, this is all things he should definitely be doing, taking that extra base, going to the Infestation Pit. He could go to the Infestation Pit, and if he still didn't feel comfortable, he could actually just wait for another fight, I would say. But I think he should feel comfortable. Like, that was a really good fight. He didn't have to use up all of his Banelings. He had still 20 left over. So I would say go through the Hive.
32 right now in play is certainly a lot. He's got more being produced. I think that as much as I do want to see the Hive, I do want to see Ultras at some point, the Chitinous Plating and all that. soO's playing fine with the mid game. And what I fear is we do see enough Zerg play, whether it's Korean or foreigner, you're doing great in the mid game, but by going to the late game, that transition is what kills you. And I'm worried about that for soO.
Yeah, that's always going to be a concern.
That's ByuN's magic right there. The Ultras Cavern building, that's when ByuN attacks. When the Chitinous Plating's almost done researching, that's when he kills you.
Oh, this is a little bit dangerous. It's technically going to be on creep by the time he matches the Terran army.
But the Widow Mines actually get some hits for the first time this game, and that's going to let him fight in this battle. Mutila's going to come in from behind. There's a lot of Marines still. They're going to push those back. 3-3 of these Marines, too deadly to deal with, too scary to fight. 15
Banelings all just exploded. Like, that was huge to help out ByuN, but he still doesn't have quite enough left over to push into the 5th base. That's actually the 6th base. Oh my god.
That's one of those fights I really wish we could have pause, replay in slow motion, just to watch how that unfolded. But oh boy, now soO still has units to fight with. He's still up in army supply. This isn't the end of the game for him, but it could be if he messes up this engagement.
Yeah, I think he's okay. He's gonna wrap around again, trying to get maybe a bit on creep here.
A little bit hard to see the Banelings, the focus fire when you're running into the base first to jump into the medevac. But the Liberator number has seriously grown.
It is interesting because I think he was. I don't know what he was thinking. These are gonna kill the mutas. Mutas clump up for half a second. They're totally dead. But the problem is that might be too much emphasis on the air. He's getting swamped by Banelings, unless he gets the good Widow Mine hit. It's been the Banelings that are the problem. Liberators really don't help out that much versus the ground army when you go link Banelings.
I'm surprised no turrets down, by the way. The Planetary is a great idea.
Yeah. We probably thought the mutas would be dead by now, you know? Generally, they kill the mutas at one point just because it's hard to control them, but soO has been very good about keeping them back until he sees Liberators are all gone.
Oh, the Liberators just move on it, but the split out of soO was so sick! He would have lost all of the mutas, no doubt in my mind, if he didn't do that. That was such a, you're half asleep, you see a dog, you're whoa!
His headset came off.
My headset fell off. I flipped out too hard, guys.
No.
I like the Corruptors. The Corruptors, I think, are a great
safer.
choice.
Love of God, safer. ByuN is also, of course, depending on command centers now, which Lings, this is the one downside about going for roaches. If you go for a roach style, you really don't get a lot of counterattacks in. If you go for the Ling style, especially when they're fully upgraded with like a Triple Glam to 3/3, counterattacks, you're never going to get a command center orbital on the next base. GG! Oh my god!
soO now up 2-0!
Just needed to go flipping beast mode. I mean, I want to remind everyone that like the first game was whatever, second game was amazing. The last time these guys played in the VSL, soO also won. Like, soO has not had a great year like ByuN has had a great year. In fact, it's been one of the worst years. Like, well, 2014 was probably his peak, right? And then it's been like kind of on a down low since then. He's just got left off a team for SKT. That like angered him or something. Like, he's looking beast mode as a Zerg player right here.
By the way, you guys are making clips in chat. Tweet them at us, please. I beg you and thank you. But ByuN versus soO score is 0-2. Can you believe that's true?
I'm impressed, you know, but I also feel like I just can't. I can't.
Are you not answering because you got the flu? Don't be blue. Go on, shoot.
Screw you.
Ah, hey!
Hey!
Wait, that's a camera high five is what that is. Respect for the
Yeah,
pod.
I rhymed once, man.
I like it. I'm rubbing off on you. It took 3 years, but we finally got a rhyme. Anyways, I think the next game is going to be starting pretty quick. I don't think there's going to be much downtime, but man, this studio again. Hey, my arm should stick out over here.
Yeah.
See my hand? I am a child put in a position for an adult currently.
Good God. Can you imagine if ByuN lost 3-0? No one's expecting that.
So, but here's my
Which would be
fallback.
crazy.
Here's my fallback.
What?
He just won BlizzCon. He's going to have $200,000 to wipe his tears away with.
$202,000.
That's very true. I don't know, by the way, that
Yeah.
soO's going to beat ByuN here, but I do want to see this epic
Whoa.
like, return. Spending an SCV out
Oh,
pretty
okay,
quick.
no.
But it's ByuN!
It's ByuN!
Yeah.
The timing that we get in here is off-putting.
We by the way, for those who don't know, we have no sound in our ears, so we can't tell whether they're like
Yeah,
ramping
that
up
too.
to an intro.
Exactly.
Or I love this guy with all the pictures of ByuN.
In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, it is soO.
People asking, is this a gaming convention in Korea? Yes, I had never heard of it before in my life. This is G-Star, by the way. It's really cool. You should look it up. There's so much going on here. I would say that this matches, if not is bigger than BlizzCon in terms of size, and just the amount of stuff here is so cool.
Yeah, saturation. I mean, I think it continues on to the very, very far right, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, this expo hall is massive. I don't know if anyone plays any other games out there, but specifically shouting out anyone who plays Nexon games, all the way back to Shower Galaxy to the more recent, I guess, like Dungeon Fighter Online and stuff. They've got everything here.
I think one of the things that like you wouldn't hear about this that much is because, first of all, like none of the big developers do a lot of big announcements. Like that's why you might watch like PAX or what's that thing in Germany? The like the BlizzCon, Gamescom. But a lot of the stuff here is like mobile games because that's like pretty popular in Korea. So for Koreans, it's like, you know, so cool. But we still have like PlayStation right near us. It's showing the really cool PS4 games that I wish I could get. And just generally like huge esports going on here. And of course, K-pop groups are here.
We have so many beautiful women regularly in front of us.
So they definitely pay people just to stand. Those are just models. But they also pay people to cosplay, professionally cosplay, and like the get up for the game. So they're pretty. The K-pop stars, people heard like IOI in the background. There's also apparently Sister. Like 2 K-pop fans in the audience are like, yeah.
Actually, so one funny thing. So we'll talk about the game in a moment, guys. So classic BaseTradeTV here. The last comment about these like models / booth babes, whatever you want to call them, that I think is clever, is they're taking people's phones and taking selfies with the person in the background or whatever.
With the person or the...
Like, so they're grabbing someone's phone, they'll do a selfie with them, like they're holding it, and then the guy who gave them the phone's like right behind them type thing.
Oh. I was thinking, I guess that's clever. That has nothing to do with the game.
No, I said we'll get back to the game in a second. Now we're
no,
getting back
not
to
this
the
game, at the game that they're promoting. Like,
oh, yeah,
they don't have like the logo on the background of their selfie or anything. It's just like, yeah, those are 2 pretty people. Here's your selfie.
They are. They really are. Anyways, sorry, I'll give it the game. soO gets a nice scout really quick on ByuN. So he knows where this is not going to be cross spawns, unfortunately, which I think everybody's praised for on this map. But he's up 2 games right now. I gotta be honest, I don't think there's a lot that soO's going to be sweating coming into this game. He still has Apotheosis to fall back to on top of that. So just 3 maps in a row, this really is odds stacked against ByuN in every way possible.
This is a good location for him, though. Like, say that soO wanted cross spawn, ByuN wanted horizontal spawn. So let's see if he can work with it at all.
Classic ByuN Reaper.
Classic ByuN. Yeah, at least speed was on this time. He's lost some like slow lings before. So that is a little concerning because there were 6 lings, I believe, and they might be making their way across here. That's not Marines.
So by the way, we're gonna have to start doing all our homework for VSL. Again, just using this moment. Oh, we'll hold that in a second. The Marines should be able to push this back, though. I don't think this will be too problematic. I was just going to mention, though, we're going to have to do our homework, because ByuN, whether he wins or loses here, I think he's still in the finals of the VSL Team League, isn't he?
I don't know. He got beat by soO last I saw. Did soO team win?
I'll have to go look that up. But my point of it is, like, ByuN's got a lot of StarCraft. He's been playing, you know, he was bouncing from event to event to event. Here he is in the Olimoleague, excuse me. I gotta tell you, if he wins here, or if he loses here, I kind of think it's still okay. Like, he's playing literally everything right now.
He is. He's pretty much a monster.
And he still shows up Pro Weekly Cups.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I started talking about. Like Gauntlet, you know, recently had him on too. Like, it's just like tons of smaller stuff. So we do have, I think, ByuN finally. Here's what's funny. He did such good damage last game with the opener, the Hellion Banshee opener. So I was like, okay, I guess that's good, right? Usually I would harp on him because it seems to be that if ByuN wants to lose his initial games, he tests out different builds other than the 2-1-1. If he wants to win a game, he uses the 2-1-1. So I thought that was, like, you know, not going to be the case last game. It still was. He still lost it. I'm going to blame the fact he didn't go for a 2-1-1. And now that he is going for his more standard build, what he has just perfected, I have a lot of faith in him. He's not going to follow up with a tank push or even more aggression necessarily. It is going to be double engineering bait, which soO is able to scout with these lings. Doesn't seem like a lot to scout, but it is going to be a bit of a sigh of relief. You only need 20 lings and your queens on the front line to deal with this specifically. And then you just have to deal with drops later on.
I just like looked around, I'm like, where's ByuN? Is this ByuN playing for ByuN right now? Like, you better be sitting over there. Double engineering base in the wall, come on. But again, his attack is looking to get underway with 5 queens, all of which, 6 queens, all of which have more than enough potential for a transfuse. I don't think soO's gonna be worrying about much. That medevac's already like a third dead.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really, this has been tried and tested for the Zerg players. They know how to defend against this. I also like that soO is getting what is a pretty safe Baneling nest. You're going to be able to pair this up with typical hooks, but just in general, you know, a lot of Zergs have been going for Baneling nest after lair, and they've been getting killed by, like, this little trick right here. You send the medevac straight to, and you just combine forces as opposed to dropping everywhere. Or like what I was talking about earlier, the Ryung all in with the Hellbats is really cool too. This way, he sees this, you know, you buy a little bit of time, you build those Banelings, and you don't ever die to it. Because there's been other cases where he's died to it for sure.
Well, the Widowmine sets up in an interesting spot. We'll see if he catches any of these lings. It might just come back the Marines and get some good link kills. 11 dead. The medevacs can help the Marines. They'll be able to go back in for those queens maybe shortly after, but the medevacs are really low. I do want to point out soO has been on point with trying to focus fire the medevacs every time.
Yeah, good micro, and what you need really at this level of play. So now he's gonna place those lings, of course. You know, he got a good chunk of ByuN's army, but he still need to have around like 20-30 lings out in the field to feel really safe until, you know, the next step of the game goes through. But it's just gonna be about clearing up creep for ByuN, dropping occasionally, soO defending. They're both gonna try and get like the ramp up phase now. So he's gonna get a 4th base, ByuN's gonna get his 3rd on location, which I don't believe it is. It is not. And the upgrades are gonna finish. Good news for ByuN is the upgrades are pretty close to soO. Last game they were lower because there was all that damage done in the beginning, and that almost played a part, but soO won even being down 3-3-2 too. Usually they do have a bit of like a 30-second, 45-second upgrade lead, not so here. ByuN can feel good about that. And the game will just continue. Like, it's gonna be soO defending for a while. He could have done that, like, you know, tricky little all-in kind of deal with 1-1 and just mass Baneling.
Well, the attack on the right side gets pushed back, and ByuN will fall back. I gotta give it to soO. Every defense so far has been what he needs it to be. The Liberator might be the first time something actually slips by.
Yeah.
Oh, that drone was a dive for support. That was, how did that happen? That's like you dived into the end zone. Like,
that's a pretty quick infestation pit. So I like that soO is changing things up, not just mutilating bling, but rather, I'm not sure if it's infestors or fast ultras. I want to say that they play more fast ultras than like infestor usage. But I'm not 100% sure. So the drops actually get in here, get a queen immediately. Unfortunately, loses the medevac right off the bat. So I'm going to pick up maybe nothing. The queen's already here. He's not picking up. Oh, okay. Nothing.
Loses a lot with that. I don't know. On the bottom side, the Hellbat's coming. There might not be enough links to push this back. The Hellbat should be able to help wash a lot of these off. But there's the Banelings. ByuN was looking for him, tries to focus fire, does get some okay focus fire, but they still hit, and now goes towards the main.
I mean, the supplies really aren't that different, but just ByuN not being able to gain any momentum and losing the drops usually adds up to being pretty bad.
Nobody has the element of supplies.
Good one. Anyway, this is actually where Terran has been losing for months. Is that they overcommit to drops and aggression and are losing the Marines and medevacs while doing it. So soO, he's going to lose his 4th base potentially? No, not even actually. And he just did damage to the 3rd base of ByuN.
That goes down too.
This is looking pretty good for soO, as long as he doesn't like fumble the transition to Hive.
There's no way. I gotta believe. I'm channeling my faith, my energy. There's no way ByuN loses 3-0 to Zerg in the finals. It's just, I can't.
It'd be crazy.
My heart literally can't. I'm gonna actually. Do I have health insurance? I hope I do, because I'm gonna have a heart attack. Like.
Is she Canadian?
Yeah. Well, traveling to Korea. I don't know how it's gonna work over here. Okay.
They're gonna let you die. They're just gonna be like.
Like if I break my foot in America, I still have to pay out the wazoo for that.
Oh, of course, America doesn't care about anyone. America. Anyway, so all this is really coming together to be like, okay, ByuN is not out of this game, but soO is in a really good position. He is not being stopped from going to Hive, and he still has a lot of lanes to work with. If he was, skating by with no army, you're like, oh my god, calm down. But he has an army still. He's an even army supply, and he has creep as well. I mean, there's been scans, there's been drops in the front line still going on, but soO's just been replacing it, and he's getting up to ultras, which I'm not sure ByuN is recognizing. Usually the Terran, he's gonna get the feeling, like, okay, I didn't kill that many drones, I didn't kill the 4th base, like, it's probably going up to Hive and ultras. But there's a possibility that they're a little bit late to the Liberators, or they try and all in before chitin splitting is done and it doesn't work.
Well, left side of the map, ByuN wants to get in. He's also setting up at the south side. This really is, like, I'd say this is good for ByuN in a small way. He's really good at fighting in multiple locations. We'll see if soO can keep up with him in that regard. But as he pushes in here, Widowmine, it doesn't get off. Goes off on the Banelings, and it's good!
Nice.
But is it good enough? Can he move in with that left side? Can he pounce on top of that base? Meanwhile, catches an errant Baneling over here. Stops the Lings, but they're just going to more and more Banelings where that came from. Left side going to push in. Not that many Banelings to stop. He's going to try and focus fire. No, it picks up instead.
This is all buying time for soO to start chitin splitting, though, which he has not started, so he should probably get on that. Bye-bye, SCVs.
Rest in peace!
ByuN does not have a 4th CC. He's kind of going all in with this if he doesn't start it right now, which he could,
Liberty's face
but
back
isn't.
in Queens 2. That's not a good spot to be in. He wants this Widowmines to get the hits, but he needs some extreme luck and some super skill to keep fighting with this. His army supply is still contendable, but he doesn't have a lot of workers. You point at no 4th base. He's going to have to lift that main suit. There's a lot not going well for him while soO transitions in ultras.
Yeah, I mean, ByuN's lucky he was late by 30 seconds. Gives him a little bit more time to try and win, but I don't think he is. That 3rd base is going to have to be lifted. It might go down if ByuN's not paying attention. Please don't lose that. Okay, good. He got SCDs on it.
Well, does he though? He's not repairing it. It's on fire.
Well, at least it has a long time before
it's repairing now.
Okay, good. But the point is, this is terrible. He is not near pushed up far enough to stop soO from getting to ultras. Oh, that Widowmine,
These
please.
Widowmines are finally... All the bad luck from the Widowmines in the first 2 games finally amounting to some decent hits here, but still, is it enough? Down 13 more workers, 30 barely remain. 87 army supply, he's pushing forward.
This is going to be it, unless he can win with this, which is... He can't, I would actually say. The stims, the medics and run energy, is going to be on creep. If soO loses his 4th base, he could replace it probably.
The Ultra's going to have chitinous too. This isn't one of those games where he made them out of desperation. He timed them out perfectly the way he needed to. So this game is going to go so well for soO unless he messes up.
Yeah, the only thing he has is 2 Liberators, which are going to be able to get some decent shots in the Ultras, but probably not enough. And these Marines are still pretty low. The medevacs only just now come in.
soO proving his merits right now, saying, I should have been at BlizzCon, not that dark guy. Oh my god, the Widowmine's actually getting some good hits, so maybe I was speaking a little too soon. Now the Ultra's got nothing to protect him. They're not going to go down quick, but +3 finished up, and he is going to give chase.
Yeah. I mean, the supplies still aren't out of control. soO is, of course, above 100. ByuN's still below. It's not great for ByuN, but maybe with some magic, maybe if soO doesn't have support for his Ultras.
Now that he's pushed into a corner, but he just picks up and flies away. And the Ultras, of course, can take a long time to get back to the main. So here's that unload. Medevacs might not be the greatest in this situation, but here they're going to be fantastic. Widowmine setting up a line of carnage on the top of that ramp, too. That's clearly going to be the fallback. Spore Crawler almost gets 2 of the Medevacs.
The question is, if they do enough damage here, 17 drones go down. soO's still at 52, though. As long as he's mining, which is, you know, the complicated part here, then he's still at good mining.
Oh,
So he's being denied on faces.
Oh, it's so close. Gets an
Oh
empty
my God.
medevac. Thank God an empty one. Meanwhile, these Widowmines advance forward. They killed a lot of the Lings. soO doesn't really have anything to clean them up. He knows that this Widowmines are just, he pulls the drones away.
Are getting so hectic, but soO still has, like,
But you know
Ultras will buy him so much having, like, you want to replace the Ultras, basically. So even if you are at 0 minerals, at least you aren't replacing your army.
Well, so I want to say, like, in 9 out of 10 games, when things get crazy and chaotic, that's where ByuN thrives. He was born in the chaos, right? But soO is a player who's had so many weird builds over the years. He's used to playing in the chaos as well. ByuN's not the only one who knows how to swim in these waters.
Yeah, I mean, soO has been brought down closer to 100. ByuN is finally getting above 100 supply, you know? And, like, 33 SVs is not terrible. That is mining.
This, by the way, goes back to what I said at the start of the game. It's not about ByuN's one drop. It's about the 4th time he hits you with that one drop. And these medevacs have been so good. These 2 medevacs have done more in 14 minutes than everything else combined,
Yeah,
I feel.
that is absolutely true. So eventually soO is going to recognize that leaving 1 Ultra in each base should just give him, like, you know, the peace of mind here. I think he's finally recognizing that. The danger of doing that, though, is that when you decide, like, okay, I'll just defend against drops, that's when, like, ByuN will go in through the middle with his entire army, and you're pulling Ultras from left and right, they're not combined, you end up losing them. Like, soO is having a very, very tough time, and he's lacking support for his Ultras.
This is crazy for a lot of different reasons, but I love that it's gotten scrappy. I love that we got this deep into the game. I love the crave spread. Oh my God.
It's like, it's 15 seconds if you immediately get over there, but...
Well, so it's funny, but it's actually really important, right? Like, this is a position where ByuN's scraping by. He can't wait 15 seconds to start mining. Like,
oh, we have Vipers on the way. That's an interesting choice. I mean, I was thinking, like, any anti-air, but of course, you know, waiting for the Spire or affording the Spire. Ducks could do the same thing.
Yeah, that or Blinding Clouds, considering he's been trying to bait soO into a lot of these chokes for fights. He's using that against him now.
That's true. I was going to say, you definitely won't be able to out-damage that, but...
These are so low zombie grab, it makes you very uncomfortable.
At some point, soO might get the idea of doing what ByuN is doing to him, too, which is a little bit concerning. As ByuN gets to that 4th base, he can just send Lings to the north and then attack to the south and maybe get the command center. He's also getting the Spire. That's one thing the Vipers can do for anti-air. They can actually kill command centers. If he can get to Corruptors, that will be a pretty, like, that's like a good enough army. The best army, of course, is like Infestors as well. But Ultra Corruptor, that's when you start to really, like, think about late game TvZ. That's when you're like, wait a minute, is this really going to be ByuN's game late game, which is usually his jam, but it's usually because they're not getting Corruptors.
Well, that is a hell of a lot of Liberators and Widowmines, I gotta say. Those are 2 units that are pretty effective at killing Ultralisks.
Yeah.
The smaller amount of bio pushing forward is cute to see. This one Liberator will stop the Ultra, not before getting a lot of SCVs.
So,
but I think ByuN's brought this back.
Oh, I think he's evened it up for sure.
I think, well, I don't know, you say even up. I think it's like screwed, like soO's kind of screwed right now.
I don't think he's screwed. He has another base he's going to send his drones to, and he is getting to those Corruptors.
Well, okay, and he also just got all those, I don't know what that is, the bottom right, Lings, I guess, to kill 22
yeah,
SCVs.
just Lings going into the 4th base. That's what we're talking about for ByuN.
Take that back, because prior to taking some minor losses, ByuN wasn't looking too bad, but now he's on 18 workers. His army supply is still strong, though.
soO just made upgrades on Ultras opposed to Corruptors, and I'm not sure about that decision. If he has time, fine. But I was a little concerned because ByuN was on the front lines.
You know, these Widowmines, I'm hoping, if it is going to be Corruptors, I hope to see some really sick bait action. But soO's also been very aware and tentative of being around those Widowmines. He's very much sacrificed Lings into them. He knows they're there. And it's a lot of them. 10 Widowmines? Not objectively a lot, but considering what Pro Terrans are doing 18 minutes in a game, that's a lot of Widowmines.
That is. Unfortunately, one mistake, one clump up for the Widowmines, 2 Banelings kill all of them. So the drop is cleaned up by an Ultra. This is what I was talking about, like, when Zerg start recognizing that, like, one Ultra can clean up a drop. It's like DTs cleaning up a drop. It's really effective.
How do they pick who to break the scene with? It's just like find some guy stroking his beard in the eye.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, the director's like, that guy, that guy, that guy.
Yeah.
No, not that guy, that
Get
guy.
him. What, the normal-looking guy? No, the weird guy.
Yeah, exactly. Another case where the Ling's just going to be able to tear ByuN apart. I mean, like, ByuN tore soO apart. soO finally calmed down. Now it's his turn to return the damage, and he's doing it pretty well.
Chance, it was that's the perfect emote for what that guy was doing, to be honest.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Liberators,
whoa.
though, gonna take some shots on these Ultras.
Calm
There's
down,
not nearly
soO.
enough Corruptors to push into this the way he wants to.
Why did he do that? I actually am really confused.
It's like a throw.
What are you
Is
doing?
soO throwing this game?
What are you doing?
I think ByuN's gonna get out of this with barely anything alive, but so does soO, and I think ByuN's barely anything beats soO's barely anything. Because ByuN still has more units back at home.
This is so close.
soO's rallying everything to the front lines.
Okay, that was really.
There's no detection. Are the Widowmines gonna rearm?
They're not gonna rearm anything yet. That's really
That's
scary,
where you
though.
fall back with the. That's where you
He
fall
has
back
so
with the
many
Vipers.
Widowmines. This Widowmine gonna save him more than like the Liberators.
Yeah. Look at it, they're all off quota, so he gets to use them again. You rarely get to do that. Such veteran Widowmines this game. There's that one earlier that had like 14 kills on it as well.
He definitely should have just like tried to hit a couple of
gonna kill the
snipes.
Who needs Liberators?
Oh my god.
Widowmines
Oh my god.
gets the job done, but there's no medepacks for these Marines. He can't even
ByuN
stim.
is like entirely depending on units so they can't kill buildings right now. So maybe he holds on. Recall that soO does have that top left base. Oh no, it did die? No, it still has it, yeah. Top left base, so if ByuN just like packs up after this, soO's probably still okay. He is losing drones now though, like he is desperate. Where have those Vipers been? He made those so long. Wait.
I think they got picked up by the
No,
Widowmines.
one just showed up.
Oh.
I didn't think he rebuilt one, but either way.
This is why I wish we had the unit stab available to us to see what's up with that, but soO is screwed. I'm going back to my stance earlier.
Yeah,
this
I think
is his
so.
last mining base. He can't build Ultras. He can barely afford Lings. The Liberator setup.
Oh.
The Widowmines are good.
Oh.
There's even drones being brought into this.
That's it, man. Like
ByuN is the showmanest
ByuN is also
ever.
mining really effectively now. His 4 bases have been secured. He could get big GG.
G
What the heck?
frickin' G. ByuN, what a guy. Let's see that face. Let's see that beautiful face.
This is what he does. He comes back, man. He gets down 2-0. He like looks down in the game as well, and he's like, nah, I think I'm gonna win now.
He's still not out of it yet, though, because, and I really want to stress this, with Apotheosis in the map pool, that's like a ticking time bomb. Does he get that on Game 4? That might just be it. But at Game 5, maybe they're both so worn out and tired, like the map itself, not a big deal. But as chat is spamming best comeback, I will agree. ByuN was so far behind for so much of that game.
Yeah, that was crazy, and it was the 2 drops really that evened him up to allow him to like continue getting advantages, of course. Also, I feel like if at any point those Widowmines have all died, I think that soO would have definitely had it.
Man, a lot of people coming in not realizing we're casting live. Let's swap over to this. You're going to see them hopefully pan over the giant studio we got here. There's soO looking a little bit distressed after that last game, nothing too crazy. But we're live in Korea right now. We're in Busan. We got this amazing, amazing convention we're currently at called G-Star. And I guess, are we going to need a bit of a break here?
Potentially.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly deserve it, but there we go. There's the stage. Sticking my hand out the right side. What's up,
Watch
camera?
out, watch out. Oh, God. I don't
Not
so
sure
far.
if I got in there or not. Yeah, before I break and pull out the cord, I got to be careful with that. Anyways, so we are going to be waiting a moment to find out what's going on. If there is going to be a break, then we just go to commercials. It's not a big deal. But I would hope that we continue through because that game, I'm like all hyped up.
That was a good game.
Of course, the Patreons, there's a lot of parties that went into the Olimoleague, right? You got Olivia who's running the league. She made it. It's her baby and all that good stuff. You got the Patreons who support it with their money every single month to make this possible. You got Twitch making with the amazing stage, this awesome studio for us to be casting in. Like, I am so happy that we could be here. And a lot of that has to do with you guys. So those names, these heroes that are currently scrolling across the stream, thank you, sincerely.
I'm on that list.
Yeah, $1
I'm a hero.
Yeah.
$1 week, fool.
Weeks, excuse me.
Week.
But that's the thing, right? Like whether it's like $1, $50, whatever you can afford, it's supporting a great tournament. I think the cool thing is just seeing more content come from the fans literally saying, money where their mouth is, I want this.
Yeah. And you got this here.
While we're just chilling and waiting to find out what's going on, I think we are heading to a break. Maybe might be too late. I'm just going to put in chat a link, guys. It's a gleam.io link. I'm just confirming that this is safe. All of the links it sends you to are safe. They're just links to our sponsors. If you want to enter the giveaway, we're giving away some really cool stuff. We've been missing a lot of subs today, a lot of shout-outs because we've been so busy. But thank you to Jay Walk the Walk, just subbed with Twitch Prime. And I think I heard some hype. Are we leading into the game? I think we're going to be leading into the game. Two grizzled veterans ready to face off. soO, if you're just joining in for whatever reason, this is the grand finals. $3,000 on the line for first place, $1,000 for second. You've got soO, who's currently up 2 games. You've got this guy spawning in the top left, 1 point under his belt. Ladies and gentlemen, the red Terran player, ByuN.
In the bottom right, as the blue Zerg, he is soO. It's the first time it worked out perfectly. How did that happen? Did they know? Well, Apotheosis was soO's map choice. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, he did just lose a long game. That's usually what's guaranteed about Apotheosis. But of course, there's other reasons to go for it. The one downside for Zergs, you know, like the upsides, of course, it's large. You get the bases pretty easily. There's a gold base, in fact, as well. It's a very long map, so rallying from the Terran isn't as hard to deal with. The one downside for the Zerg, I would say, is that because you expand like right to left, even if you take the gold base, like eventually expanding to the left as you get the 4th base, you get torn apart like extreme directions pretty easily, and that can sometimes be hard to deal with. But so far, Zerg's been doing a great job of it. It really has been about rallying, even though Apotheosis is so long in the games that we see. ByuN doesn't seem to really care about maps that much, but this was still a good map choice for soO.
Yeah. Actually, to talk at this point more, again, so for whatever that last game was, a scrappy and amazing and hype, it still showed us the ByuN that we know, where that guy can win impossible situations. And what I loved most was the emphasis on he's playing with this 2 medevacs, doing so much damage over the course of like 10 minutes. And I think it's that you just stop realizing it's the same units coming in again and again for soO, right?
Yeah. There's definitely... It's not that soO did anything wrong necessarily. Like, he took too much damage for sure. He could have split his ultras much earlier, and then I seriously would not take any damage at all. The ultras they're clumsy, but they're still good enough to deal with drops. But he just, you know, he couldn't do anything about the mass amount of Widow Mines on Liberators. And it was a risky choice by ByuN because he didn't have any bio to accompany it, but it worked out. Eventually, he did get the bio.
Yeah. I tried, by the way, talking about this in the last game, or game before, but we got so caught up. I do want to remind everybody, we had to announce it at the start of the stream. We're going to re-announce it here. We're going to be casting the VSL Finals live from the same setup, the same place in G-Star, in Busan. So if you guys have been a fan of the VSL Team League, I'm super excited to be able to do it. And Nathaniel has been covering a lot of the matches, and with his permission, we're actually going to be casting the Grand Finals while we're here. I've extended my stay a couple days in order to accommodate, and I'm super excited for it. So we're having a great time today. I really, truly hope you guys have been enjoying these finals. They've had some sick games today, but I'm really excited that we'll get to do even a little bit more before we're gone from Korea.
Yep, the big finale of the convention is going to be the big finale of the VSL.
Oh,
pretty cool.
Nice coincidence.
I'm not sure that's a coincidence. That might have been on purpose.
Oh, you know what? I guess planning would make sense when there's probably literally millions of dollars on the line.
A little bit, yeah.
To answer the question here, by the way, this has been asked several times, why not a best of 7? If you guys recall, the Olimoleague used to run best of 7s as their grand finals for the bigger events. A part of why this got changed was dependent for the Korean scene. The studios, the time at which this was running, and now especially at this gigantic event where we're sharing the stage with like 5 other big title games, we had about a 3-hour time limit. We're pushing it right now.
Yeah.
We're like 12 minutes from pissing people off. So the unfortunate scenarios, we could not actually time-wise afford a best of 7. Would have loved to though, for sure. I think 2 best of 5s in the semifinals is way better than no best of 5s into a best of 7 though. So
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I wouldn't even usually you can blame production problems for why offline events.
This has been smooth as butter.
Offline events take a lot longer, so that you learn to accommodate for that. But this actually has not been the production's fault that it's been more than 3 hours for 3 best of 5s. It's just been super long games. Yeah, at least 3 pretty long games. But I think all of them, except the one with Gumiho and the one with ByuN, those are the shorter games.
Well, double evolution chamber. What do you make of this coming out of soO?
Well, he's finally changing it up to, I guess, some more... Or no, wait, no. No, he's been doing that, hasn't he? I might be thinking the runs with Gumiho. I'm starting to get my games crossed. But this is just more normal for the Zerg, of course. You know, they go for the faster upgrades. They usually have faster upgrades. This is usually the common build. But, of course, I was talking about, like, you know, the occasional times he went for layer before upgrades. Not something you really have to do against someone you know. Like ByuN, you know what he's going to do for the most part, and actually scout what he's going to do too. Double engineering bays in the front, the Overlord sees that, I believe. Saw the Hellenes, of course, as well. Not a lot of pressure coming from them, unless they turn into Hellbats, which they aren't.
Well, The Lynx do manage to slip by. All one Marine. Feels bad, man. Gonna lose some SCVs. Pulls even mules. That's scary. That's desperate. And that's gonna be bad if he loses too much more, but looks like he might just handle this. As messy as it's been.
Yeah, looks like it.
It's unfortunate because this should have been nothing. This should have just been the deep up, obviously. So ByuN making a small mistake and it's costing him a bit. On a map where he can't afford to make mistakes. I will stress again, I don't care if you guys have seen other games than us or if you've seen other stats than us. We've cast enough TvZs on Apotheosis to tell you this is not going to be a game that's, like, it's not level footing. It really isn't.
It's hard. It really is about the rally. Like, even on a Frozen Temple, if you weren't literally rallying one Marine at a time, if you were bulking up and then going, that's still vastly different. That's still like 10 more seconds that Zerg has to morph in Banelings, for instance, that they have in Apotheosis but nowhere else. A couple of Helens going to try and do something. I guess they saw there's only so many Lings, but unfortunately, I brought this up earlier, 2 Lings, suddenly the Hellions can't do anything, you know? They get touched and like, oh my god, what am I going to do? So he has to leave. At best, they're going to be used later as Hellbats for the main push. The Reapers could technically be as well. Grenades on Banelings is actually super effective. It's unfortunate that that's never going to be really, you know, there's not going to be an ability to micro that well. So I think that's a little bit too far out there. That's
where I'm really sad that Archon mode never became a thing, because I think you would see such sick fights where you got one player just specifically on the Reaper / macro, you're looking for the grenade hits, and then the other guy's dancing all the Marines around them.
Yeah, they can be very, very good, and occasionally you see in the smaller engagements with Marines, but it's difficult to do in the larger ones. So he's probably going to sacrifice them. Yeah, exactly. Get a Scouts. That's actually pretty important that he did to scout in the Spire, obviously, so he can do both. Muta Ling Ultra, or sorry, Ling Baneling Ultra or Ling Baneling Muta. More Lings than natural. Apparently it's not a problem for very much longer. Upgrades, still ahead for the Zerg. That's usually where it is going to be, like 30 seconds, just about what it is here. The Reapers should be in the main base now scouting that Spire, but ByuN might be looking into the CVs right now.
Well, unfortunately for ByuN, he's being really distracted by such what I feel is an insignificant amount of Lings. Obviously, it's important to deal with them, but oh boy.
More Lings get into that natural mineral line. This is this is crazy. This is not usually something that ByuN has much of a problem with. I feel there's other Zerg players, or Terran players, sorry, that have problems with this, but ByuN's usually pretty good at the supply depots. So just more handicap, I guess, he's giving to soO, like, good guy. But ByuN, he's actually losing a lot of SCVs. At least he's paying attention and microing his medevacs, but that was 11 SCVs.
Yeah, quick sound check to the stream. I have not done anything. I adjusted the mic slightly. Is this better? Did it lose sound to you?
No.
I hear it in my own head, and it doesn't sound weird.
I think maybe you just, like, did, like, tap forward a little bit. I don't know. That was the first time I've seen it. But anyway, hopefully it's fixed now. Medevac once again going in. Not much to do except clear up that creep. Reaper goes down. I don't know if he saw the mutas, but I think his quicker transition to Liberators means that he did see the Spire. Or he might just know, but that's what soO does on Apotheosis. Not sure. It's going to be about 10 mutas. All the upgrades are finishing up. And in fact, ByuN is not getting too quick enough, I would say. Now it starts, but like that went from, I think, what was going to be maybe a minute max upgrade lead to 2.5, like whatever the upgrades are. That's pretty crazy. So that's going to be, it's something that he always has to consider whenever he goes into engagements. He shouldn't be going in like super quickly, of course positioning outside of that creep, but that's a long time to buy.
Oh, big pick off on that one medevac. So the Marines gonna fight for their lives. They'll trade out for a couple. That's actually not bad, but still ultimately worse for ByuN. Medevacs become such a precious commodity. There's no Terrans who are producing 15 like we used to see back in the day. You're usually bouncing around between 3 to 5.
That was just very unfortunate timing. Like, he probably knew about the mutas, but who knew that they were going to be popping out right then and there, right on top of your medevacs where you're going. So, unfortunate. soO is also going to go up to, again, like that really good count of mutas. So, like, more than the 8 that you can just kind of throw away and be done with after a couple of minutes. But, you know, more like that 20 that we saw on King Sejong Station that helped out so much on King Sejong Station.
Well, wrapping around the top side, ByuN will catch this, so he'll stop moving out, but he might also still try and wrap around from behind. That could hurt him more than help him, though. Widowmine's get an okay shot on the Lynx. This gives him some fighting power. Liberator's going to give chase to the mutas, and soO has to fall back.
Yeah, that was really dangerous of him anyway. Like, they're not maxed out. He is on 5. Oh, he's actually on 5 bases. Ooh, so okay, but still, it's worrying, especially if he doesn't consider how much larva he has. If he can't refill the Lings that he gives away when he's attacking like that. Okay,
soO's on an upgrade lead right now. That's kind of an important detail going forward into any of these fights. That being said, his army supply is lagging, and normally if you're going Lings, if you're going Bands, you're going Muse, you want to have so much you can just swarm and overwhelm with, like we saw earlier today. Those 2 Banelings were just garbage. I don't know what those are supposed to do, to be honest.
looking for stray SCVs. ByuN already on his 4th base, apparently, so it's going to be going into that much longer game. Frost was... It was why it was so crazy. Like, it was like that all-in, like, 3 bases, got to win now. It just lasted 10, 15 minutes. Here it's going to be that different type of game. The Widowmines get some pretty nice shots, but, you know, it's like a handful of lings to deal with this. ByuN forced to, cancel. At least it canceled, didn't kill. And the game is going to, I would say, Ultras. ByuN, this has a lot to do with Apotheosis. Even just being back here right now, even if he moves out right now, he's going to be dangerously close to dealing with Ultras. And since he has to clear up creep and, you know, be very cautious of soO attacking him and the surprise factor, I think soO should be able to get up to that Hive for sure, and probably slap down that Ultraless Cavern.
Well, it's really interesting to see the air upgrades. We'll see if the Liberators end up getting the effect that they want out of it or not. But man, oh man, for ByuN at this point, let's not forget, like, this is his last life. He really can't screw up this attack. He's got the numbers. He's got the upgrades finally. He's certainly got this element of surprise coming down the right side of the map. But this is, if he loses this fight, this could be the entire tournament for him.
Yeah. Well, this is a decent position here. There's not a lot of creep, and there is, of course, that ramp to fall back to. He's going to try and start. Oh, well, not so much about the ramp.
The Widowmine's going to get some of the links, but the Banelings are going to be what matters the most. However, the Widowmines may have done more than enough. ByuN's going to fall back out of this, but with more supply. Liberators come in, loses the medevac, so maybe I spoke too soon. ByuN, what is going on?
That was an awesome surround. You're right, he stayed at a consistent supply count for a little bit, and then he started losing those accessory units. Good drop over here, gets the cancel on this base. This is where, like, going to the far left to the far right might be a little bit difficult, but luckily Apotheosis is a pretty skinny map, so Mutas will get here pretty quickly.
Comes in from behind once again. soO playing this about as well as Zerg needs to. I love that he's not taking head-on engagements. I love that he's not just A-moving. He's planning these attacks ahead of time.
Yeah. Oh, she's praying for ByuN, man.
She's like,
guarantee it.
She's praying the camera didn't look at her and then it didn't work, so.
Yeah, that was a facepalm. Well, the rally from the starport, I think, needs to be fixed. That's a little bit concerning, as again, unless you have like 6 Liberators, Mutas can magic box on top of you, and you're going to need them for the main fight. Planetary finally on the way for that 4th base. Took longer than I thought it would. I guess you did have to cancel it after all.
A lot of peace of mind to make sure more lings don't cancel, no lings run by. But as it comes down the bottom right, this is where he just died. Does he really want to fight here again?
Yeah. Even if you see the sandwich coming in, like, there's not much you can do about it. You really are trapped. Like, that's definitely the disadvantage of being in this position.
He sees all those Banelings morphing in. This is going to be so disheartening for him. He's got no medevacs for these Marines. He's got 1 Liberator in the sky. I think this is how he dies.
Maybe. I mean, four bases, he has a couple of fights that go badly. As long as there's not, like, 15 Ultras and 15 Corruptors and 4 Fungals, you know, ready to go. That's when the army is like, okay, you screw up once, like, the army's probably going to kill you. But ByuN, he has a choice, actually, and he chose to retreat while he still could. He could get to a 5th base. He could really go to the late game and hope that soO messes up his composition. Like, go to the, like, you know, almost turtle mode for the Terran.
The SCVs they need to be kept alive. I mean, look at the workout. It's already 80 to 57 before anything dies. ByuN needs not just the SCVs, but to move that base after it mines out. Liberator set up on the right side, but there's nothing over there to fight, man.
Yeah. I think ByuN is going to have to recognize that it's not about him being offensive.
Unless the Banelings get in before the SCVs get a repair. There's no surface area. Gets the repair, though. The Banelings are going to take down the Planetary. The Ling's going to slaughter everything here. And ByuN loses a critically important base.
Okay.
soO loses 1, but he's still got another.
Now it is kind of that all-in time. If he was on 4 bases, granted the gold base was mining out, but still, like, you can just be like, okay, I'm going to get maxed out. I'm going to get Liberators, maybe even get to Ghost. You see Ghost for once in, 5 months.
I want to, but with Kite's plating coming out so quick and 3-3 finishing any second now, I feel like Ghosts are but a dream.
Oh, not on 3 bases, barely, because of course his gold base again has been mining out. The option to do that turtle, I think, is kind of gone. Like, it might still be his best bet to hope that soO overcommits with an attack.
ByuN's got a lot of army supplies, a lot of Marines, there's a couple of Widowmines trying to come in for the fight. He does clear out the left side, now there's no support for the Ultras. Widowmines get a nice crack off on the Mutalists, and they are going to fall back. Loses, an orbital, loses the other base. ByuN still has an army to fight with, though, so while he might be losing on production, he could still win if he pushes this across the map. If we want to go base trade, you lift the buildings.
I feel like this works so well in like a TvT or TvP, but creep spread is that dynamic that makes base trades, this type of base trade, so dangerous. You go into creep, you're increasing the chances to have a terrible fight for you like tenfold.
Yeah, but right now we have a couple Widow Mine set. We'll see if they can get those hits. Luck has to be on ByuN's side. We know he's got skill, but so does soO. So will luck favor and tip the scales?
Oh, this is so all in. He has to not just win this battle, he has to kill like 2 more hatcheries, and then maybe it's more of a question of who wins. But right now, I feel there is no question.
I love chat, by the way. They say, thank God they're buffing banelings. I know, guys. We all have the same thoughts, okay? That health increase is going to suck for Darren. But as ByuN falls back, he doesn't have any Marauders.
So many Marines. Like, oh my God. Oh, this is it. There's no coming back from here. GG.
soO takes the series 3-1 over the BlizzCon champion, proving he is the ultimate Zerg.
He got serious revenge for all the times that ByuN has definitely beat soO before. And of course, ByuN has beat so many Zerg players, but
I don't even know what to say, man. Like, we've seen ByuN go through the best of the best. Doesn't matter whether your name's Sulky, Solar, Lucira.
Oh my God, Sulky.
Like, you name it, ByuN's beat them, right?
Yeah.
Dark, BlizzCon, I don't even know why I'm not referencing that one. Like, he has proven he's, like, one of the best TvZers in the world, and he just lost 3-1 to soO.
soO, I guess maybe this is the point of time where he's having the hot streak, which you would say, like, well, there's no more tournaments, so what does it matter if he's in a, like, a winning, feeling right now? Well, there actually is IEM, and if he's still in the VSL, he can help his team out, too. Like, better late than never for getting all the wins, right?
I mean, I really wish that this was – I see chat saying, why is not best of 7? I wish it was, guys. But, of course, we all knew going into this it was going to be a best of 5. The players knew. Everyone knew. It's just unfortunate because that's how time constraints work. But that is going to be, I guess, the end of the show for the games. They're doing a bit of an interview. I can't translate for you. I don't know what he's saying right now. I'm sure it's wonderful things about how Zerg's the best. But this is funny for me because we tweeted out this picture earlier, right, where it was the 3 Terrans hanging out in the corner, and soO was kind of like off on his own. And I feel like soO really was sitting there thinking, like, I'm going to kill them all. Just how do I do it? Like, that is exactly what happened.
It's what happened.
I'm going to run and grab Olimoleague, though. So before I do, you want to do like some shout-outs, talk about our giveaway and all that good stuff?
Sure. So again, like, we haven't been able to check a chat and whatnot. We've got like maybe like a couple of subs. But thank you so much to everyone who has subbed, the new subs, the resubs, the Twitch Prime subs. I've noticed actually a lot of people do that. I noticed some like people I think are new too. Thank you so much for doing that. We are doing a giveaway. This helps us. This helps you. You get free stuff for entering, and all you have to do is click a couple of links. I don't know why I'm looking at the Twitch chat like as if that's how I look at you guys. But like you click a couple of links, like follow the YouTube, check out the Corsair sites, blah blah blah, and it just increases the amount of chances you have to win. You choose 2 things and that you get them. Like that's the giveaway, and it helps us too. Of course, getting the word out about all of our links and social media and whatnot and our sponsors. It's good stuff. Hopefully someone links it. In fact, someone just did. Thank you very much. But now we have Olivia. She'll be replacing Rifkin. So this is the creator. Of course, she has an emote. I hope that people recognize you. You were on the big screen.
Yeah, I was.
So happy about that?
Well, I wasn't because I was actually drinking water, and then they just panned toward me, and I was like, oh, no, okay.
I wonder if this is like a thing where it's just like at the restaurants where they always only ask you stuff if you're like drinking water or eating.
Or halfway
like, do they on purpose?
Something?
Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure the cameraman did that on purpose. Anyway, so of course, I guess this is kind of like your time to talk about the Olimoleague and like well, how long has it been going on? 2 years?
It's been almost
a year and a half?
It's been 2 years. It's about to be 3.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, geez, 3, wow.
Yeah, it's been almost 3 years. We started in 2014 with
oh my goodness. I knew that.
Basically, it was completely just funded by you guys, really, the crowd, and from there we've grown into this, which is being at a offline gaming convention and then casting live and having a stage and things like that. And it really wouldn't have been possible if you guys weren't there to support us throughout the whole time. And it wouldn't have been possible to be here without Twitch Korea and VSL Gaming, who was doing the production and things like that, and BaseTradeTV, who has been casting since the very beginning. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's why all your names are down there. I did that correctly. I'm amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Like, just like, what you look forward to next year? Hopefully the Olimoleague is like good and great and better, or I don't know, like any specific, thanks. I know like Ethan, we talked about Ethan. He's been in the Twitch chat actually.
Yeah, I really do want to thank Ethan who is part of Twitch Korea, who helped reach out to me and basically said, hey, we like what you're doing, we like Olimoleague, and we want to help it grow. and without him and without that, we wouldn't be here. So thank you so much to Ethan and to Twitch Korea and VSL Gaming who did the production, and to BaseTrade for casting, and to you guys really. So thank you so much.
Yeah. I guess I mean I could have asked you, like, so of course I think the main stage is being used right now, but I guess we're like off to the side so no one cares.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to ask her any questions about the Olimoleague or how it got to be going or anything like that, you have like seriously like 30 seconds before I'm just like peace, because I am hot and hungry,
Yeah.
hot and bothered, but not bothered.
Yeah.
It's actually 6 o'clock right now.
Actually, we were supposed to, like, the expo closes at 5:30, and
Oh.
it's 6 o'clock, so we actually
Dude,
have to.
I didn't
go.
know that. That's really early for our convention.
Yes.
What? It's only 5 hours? 6 hours? Like, because the doors open at like noon.
Well,
don't
on
they?
Thursday, so.
Oh, I guess that's true. It is Thursday. That makes a lot more sense. I don't see any questions. There's a lot of thanks, and of course they deserve it. Everyone who played, everyone who worked in the for the Olimoleague, it's been an absolute blast that we get to come here to Korea at the end of the year. It'd be great if it got just like bigger and better next year. Of course, we'll be returning for the VSL on Sunday, casting the same little setup here. But I think just the consensus from the chat has just been like, thank you, Olivia. Thank you,
Thank you.
Olimoleague. Ace Lude, everyone. The finals on Sunday, I'm not sure, to be honest. We weren't checking that. We were looking at the schedule, so we're going to have to get to that information on Twitter. So, of course, follow us on Twitter. Follow the Olimoleague on Twitter. It has its own Twitter, and follow Olivia on Twitter as well. And thank you all for watching. Do you want to say goodbyes, Rifkin? Do you want to say your goodbyes? I'm just gonna peace out unless you want to say something. I'm just gonna peace out if you just want to say something. Okay, okay. Yeah.
Hello, folks. Oh my, these are warm. You have hot ears. I know, I think we all are. Anyways, guys, yeah, Home Story Cup's going on. I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. I think it's like 3 hours from now. Those who watched us for the first time today, I hope you consider following the channel. We don't always get to cast live. Normally we're from our bedroom, so this is a very special experience for us and a really awesome time. This was it for the Olimoleague. We'll be back on the 20th with... Man, come on, kid. You do production. You should know better. Korean commentator for the Olimoleague, for those who don't know. Anyways, that totally screwed me up. Right, we don't always get to do this live, and this was originally going to be it. This would have been the end of it. We go home and say goodbye, but we will be back on the 20th to do the VSL finals. I'm really excited. We get a little bit of extra live casting in us. I said it on Twitter, and I want to say like this sort of weirdly heartfelt goodbye. It's been really tough trying to work with Zombie Grub in terms of like getting live casting, you know? ESL's not picking us up. We're not live casting BlizzCon. We're doing our own thing, and that's nothing wrong with that. But it's more expensive to do your own thing. Last year, to create a live event where we could have cast something of this magnitude cost us close to 60 grand. In fact, technically a little over, but that's some numbers we can't discuss. That being said, this whole trip, we actually sprung for some... We spoiled ourselves with plane tickets because we haven't gotten anything nice for ourselves like all year. We had expensive plane tickets. That being said, both plane tickets, meals, taxis, etc., like 10 grand. That's a lot of money. But that's nothing compared to the 60 we had to spend last year. So we're getting closer to this point where maybe we can make this more of a regular occurrence and less of a once-a-year type thing. But we got to do DreamHack Austin, albeit one best of 5. We get to do 3 here, so it's
3 times.
it's getting better. And, of course, the VSL Finals, albeit will probably be short because of their format, will still be really good and awesome. So I hope you guys will support us with that because that will probably be the last thing we can do for a while. Zombie Grub's going to be staying in Korea for like 5 weeks. I guess 4 weeks. We've been here for a week. And, of course, I'm going home as soon as we're done with the VSL Finals. So it's been a blast, guys. I thank you so much for having us. I'm not going to shake your hand often, so let's – there you go. Good job, Zombie Grub. Saw that wood. You did a good job today.
Wave it.
Oh, I thought you were like, ew, get off my hand. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Big shouts to anyone we missed with the subs today. I assume you did all the other shout-outs and all that? Okay, great. Then I don't know who we're going to host. You know what? We're live. Let's pick this for once. We never get to do this. Let's give somebody
well, like Home Story Cup's starting in like
3 hours. So
oh, is it?
Otherwise,
you guys lied to me.
Well, that's what I was checking. Like on Team Liquid, it's 2 hours 52 minutes. Otherwise, I would host them right now.
Okay, who else is on?
So I'm going through my follow list to see because we got some non-StarCraft people, but unfortunately, nobody.
I'm not gonna make any remarks on what's on his follow list.
I follow 3 girls that are online right now. Deal with it. There's reruns. You know what? McCanning is a pretty good dude. Let's go host bomb the crap out of him. Give him a bit of a surprise. So give him some love, guys. Tell him BaseTradeTV sent you. Say shame on you for not watching the Olimoleague. We love your faces, and we'll see you on the 20th. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, the window's over here to host with. I am nailing this.
Bye.
Yeah, keep waving. I can't do it yet.
Well, I gotta fill it downtime with something.